to go under the hat in this episode and explore the exciting world of the bald guy. As a bald guy myself, these are my people.
You know, we love each other, me and my bald brothers.
But I want to make a distinction here. Bald guy and shaved head guy are not the same.
You are not bald, okay? You have chosen to shave your hair. That's a look that you're cultivating to be fashionable, and we don't really consider you part of the bald community, with all due respect.
Most shaved head guys are bald guys, but not all. Some of them are just going the Yul Brynner route.
It saves you all that bother of combing your hair and bothering with it.
Did you notice any change in the attitude of women towards you after you shaved it?
Absolutely none.
Totally. As I like to say, I'm not going bald, I'm just getting more head. I saw that on a bumper sticker once. But to guys like Yul Brynner or, say, Michael Jordan that like to appropriate bald culture, I say, you're just a tourist here in the land of bald guys. I live here.
Welcome to my world.
So guys like Barry Bonds will not make this team, because it's not clear whether Barry could still grow a full head of hair during his playing days. We have pictures of him with a full head of hair, and we have pictures of him chrome-domed. So we can neither confirm nor deny his status as a bald guy. Of course, there's something else that causes hair loss that could explain Barry's choice of hairstyle. That's right, testosterone. High levels of dihydrotestosterone, which leads to hair loss. Yep, guys like Barry and me were just a couple of all-natural teed-up studs. No two ways about it. But still, can't confirm about Barry's balding bona fides. And in today's game, there is no shortage of smooth dome dudes. But I will do my due diligence to confirm that all the players on this roster are genuine bald guys. That's my promise to you. Catcher. At catcher, I'm going to take two backstops who grew up playing on the same sandlots of St. Louis's Italian neighborhood. Yogi Berra and Joe Garagiola. Yogi's male pattern baldness was already starting to creep in by the end of his playing days, and Joe's familiar dome became a mainstay on sportscasts and game shows in his baseball retirement. It's not clear how much he was balding during his playing days, because I can't find any pictures of him back then without his cap. But I think it's safe to infer that he was already rocking a comb over under there by the time he hung up his cleats. First base, Steve Balboni. This is the first guy I thought of when doing a bald guys roster. No one has ever been more bald on a baseball field than Balboni. Look at those majestic sides. You'll never see a modern player rocking sides like that. Second base, Dustin Pedroia. To give you a sense of how us bald guys are treated on a daily basis, take a look at this brutal gotcha interview that the notoriously thinning Pedroia had to grit his teeth through.
Are you jealous of my dad's hair? I bet you are, just saying. You had horrible hair.
Well, I'm glad. I don't have any feelings anyway, so that's okay.
Exactly, Dustin. We just push those feelings down, don't we? Third base, Wade Boggs. Gotta go with the Hall of Famer here, but this one is not without controversy. Wade turned his back on the bald community, famously getting a hair transplant.
One time that it really hit home was the celebration that we had in the locker room in New York when everybody's pouring the champagne over your head and having a great time. And I'm looking around at the 24, 25-year-old guys on the team, and the hair's falling down on their forehead and everything. And the champagne's just running off of my forehead like Niagara Falls. And I felt like that was the time to say I really need to make a change in my life.
Really, that was the last straw? This is the wild man who drank 100 beers on a flight, worrying about such champagne problems? Say it ain't so, chicken man. I feel like Wade would be the kind of guy that would do a 180 as soon as he saw a bald guy who was comfortable in his skin being the life of the party.
He's so comfortable in his skin.
Wade is the perfect mark for Wilson's fake gorilla attack system.
That chip stole my hair!
Shortstop, Cal Ripken Jr. 2 straight Hall of Fame baldies. Cal was famously balding at an early age. This 1986 LA Times article talks about Cal's hair loss when he was just 25, blaming it on Cal Sr.'s genetics, but that's not really how baldness works. It's more because of the high testosterone. That's what I'm sticking with. Left field, Brett Gardner. Okay, Gardner is definitely known as a shaved head guy, gaining the nickname Megamind from fans for his bulbous cranium. But we have enough photographic evidence of Gardner with hair that we can place him on the Hamilton-Norwood scale. He's definitely somewhere in this row. Not sure without seeing the top of his head, but he's somewhere around here. Center field, Mookie Betts. Best bald spot in all of baseball. Mookie shaves his head as well, but he doesn't always shave it quite so clean as guys like Gardner, leaving a bit of the old 5 o'clock moon shadow. It's admirable that Mookie lets his hair loss be seen like this, as this can provide a lot of inspiration to all the young bald boys out there who dream of growing up to be ball players one day. Right field, Kirk Gibson. Just one of the most effortlessly Norwooding dudes in baseball history. We saw him with the Wild Man 5 head in his Tigers days, and then by the time he was becoming a Dodgers legend, he had this hairline receding into Spike's hairstyle. Pretty badass. DH, Harmon Killebrew. I'm realizing I really probably should have included Harmon on the old guys team. Look at him at age 39 in his final year with the Royals. Like Cal Ripken Jr., Harmon started losing his hair early. His hairline was already receding here in his 1961 Topps card, when he would have been 24 or 25 years old. And here he is in 1968, having a bald guy bro down with the Twins trainer when he was 32 and already a full-on sides king. Starters, John Smoltz. Smoltz had a good sense of humor about his hairline, and he had to when pitching alongside a couple of jokesters like Maddox and Glavine.
Schmaltzy, chicks dig the long ball, not the bald spot.
Nolan Ryan. In 1991, at the age of 44, Nolan pitched the baldest no-hitter in baseball history. Gaylord Perry. By the end of his career, Gaylord had sides for days. And they weren't just a fashion statement, they were very functional. Luis Tiant. Look at this badass. Smoking a cigar all bald and shit. Tim Hudson. Huddy kept it shaved real close, but here we see the male pattern baldness going on. Confirmed bald guy. Then we'll take a sixth starter and use him in the bullpen as a long man. Esteban Loaiza. This guy is bound to end up on our eventual cocaine guys team, as he was busted with 44 pounds of coke in San Diego and served 3 years in prison in 2019 before being deported to Mexico. I mean, what are you doing, man? You made over $43 million playing baseball, dude. Jeez. Maybe this is like that Kids in the Hall skit, The Beard, and his sides were just getting too tight. Mariano Rivera. You gotta wonder if 19 years of some of the highest stress innings in baseball could make your hair fall out. Maybe, but Mo always looked cool and collected out there, even as his hairline receded. Goose Gossage. Okay, not exactly a guy you think of as a bald guy, since he had quite the locks during his playing days, but his hairline was really receding by the end of his career, and he embraced the mustachioed bald guy look in retirement. Yusmeiro Petit. Petit is probably most remembered for his heroic 6 scoreless relief innings in the Giants' 18-inning marathon win in the 2014 NLDS. But who could forget this hairline? Bob Wickman. This guy may be the last ever sides guy to play in the majors, along with Loaiza. You may never see this look outside of joke ads like this. And frankly, this ad is offensive.
That's a hate crime.
Really bald.
Okay, but we consider ourselves a group of people.
Bench. Outfield first base, Joe Pepitone. Another controversial selection here because Pepitone was a notorious toupee wearer, and a notoriously awful toupee wearer. Like he's wearing a toupee with a comb over? What the hell, man? But this is what makes me want to go ahead and put Pepitone on this squad, because he seems like such a weirdo. Like, I mostly agree with Larry David's viewpoint on toupees.
Those guys, they should kill those guys.
Exactly. I mean,
I'm surprised Hitler didn't round up the toupee people.
Yeah?
I mean, if I'm going to be a sick megalomaniac,
Right.
to round up people who I hated, they would be on my list. I would say, get the toupee people.
But gotta make an exception for Pepitone, seen here posing for the January 1975 issue of Foxy Lady magazine. Yeah, let's cut away from this. Infield, Toby Harrah. Harrah really kept his hairline under wraps. It's hard to find a shot of him without his cap. But when he put his body on the line to help Len Barker finish his perfect game in 1981, he also put his melon out there for all to see. Omar Vizquel. I feel a kinship with Vizquel. I share the same Norwooding pattern with Omar. His hairline is
my exact style.
Outfield, Larry Walker. There aren't a lot of guys on here who went from flowing locks to baldo, but Walker is definitely one. The only guy to be on our mullet guys team and our bald guys team. But Walker had the self-respect to avoid hanging on too long and becoming a skullet guy, opting to shave it off and instead becoming a goatee guy in his late career. The circle of hair. It moves us all through hope and despair. Third base, Matt Williams. Williams would embrace the smooth dome style later in his career, but early on he was a Balboni disciple with more sides than Thanksgiving dinner. First base, Paul Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt is right up there with Mookie Betts in the bald representation category. Goldie exudes bald positivity in a world of hair privilege. First base, Wally Joyner. And finally, we'll take Wally Joyner, who, in a bit of foreshadowing, did this razor ad in the late 80s. You could see the thinning starting already, and Wally would become a heavy Gillette user in later years. Alright, that's our roster of bald guys. Let me know who I snubbed on this list, and as always, please like and subscribe for more guys.